Okay, this is now tarot lesson number 27, and today I'd like to mention first, this, as far as I'm concerned, this channel is all free, and I don't monetize it, and I don't get paid, but some of you may get adverts on the channel, and I don't know how to stop it. Because as I say, I don't monetize it. I'm not looking to be paid for it. So maybe what you do is, it's annoying, the ads, if you get ads, but what can you do? Okay, so today, a couple of things. One is, I was talking to somebody earlier in Taiwan, and one of the questions she had to do with about her doing a tarot course or teaching a tarot course, and so she picked one card to get the answer to the question, and she got the Judgment card. So the thing is, there's an angel in the Judgment card, and it was upright, and you've got people down below, and you've got the angel up here. And the thing is, the woman's name is Angel. So sometimes with the tarot, you don't have to look very far to get the answer. The fact that her name is Angel, there's an angel in this card, blowing a trumpet, sending a message. So the answer is yes, do it. So sometimes you get a quick yes, no. Because if the card had been upright, then no, right? But it's upright, so the answer is yes. And sometimes it's kind of obvious, but most of the time, I think it's not going to be that obvious. So I'm kind of prepared for this, but in some ways not really. But I want to show you this. So this is a horoscope, right? 12 houses. 1, 2, 3, and so on, all the way around. So if you want to know about you, you look to the first house. If you want to know about marriage partners, you look to the 7th. Children are the 5th. Okay, that's supposed to be a 5 anyway. So no matter who you are or when you're talking about, there's always going to be some area of life where things are not quite right. It doesn't mean it's always going to be tragic or terrible or major problems, but sometimes in some area of life, there's always something you could fix or something that you could make better. And the reason I'm telling you this is because, let's say you have a problem with a marriage partner or a romantic partner. It can be a little problem like a petty annoyance, or it can be something major. Unless you get a petty annoyance and you've thought about how you want to fix it or what you would do to fix that petty annoyance, or maybe you've got a major problem and you've been thinking about possible solutions to that major problem. And then let's say somebody comes for a reading, or you're doing a reading for somebody and they've got a problem with a romantic partner. And the question is, to what extent can you talk to the questioner about their actual situation without imposing your own personal problem and solution on top of them? Because a lot of the times, there's this psychological phenomenon called projection, where there's something you don't like about you, and you don't see it in you, but you see it in other people, and you blame them or accuse them of being a certain way, not realizing that you are the one who is being like that. And so can we, or to what extent can we separate our own self and our own fears or anxieties or current difficulties? How much can we separate that from the tarot itself and the cards that come up? Because otherwise it's a waste of time. You know, if I've got a problem with a marriage partner and you ask me about your marriage situation and I just talk about what I'm going to do or what I think I ought to do, it may have nothing to do with you. So it's a waste of time. And that's why I think we have to be sort of objective or separate our own personal preferences from the answer that we give the questioner. Sometimes we can refer to our own situation as an example of how to go about doing something. So I can't think of an example at the moment, but so how do you do this? Because I think it's important. And I'm getting a piece of paper here. So what do we do? So somebody wanted to know about they have a room that they rented and they want to rent it out to other people and maybe for different purposes. And so the question was, how can I best make use of the room, or what direction should I go in to make use of the room that I've got for rent to other people? And so the first card that came up was the Six of Cups upside down. So rather than try to figure out what it means, and I've got videos on don't learn what cards mean. Instead of trying to figure out what it means or trying to jump to an answer, I think what we do is take some time. And so if we take our lead from the picture itself, then we're going to arrive at the correct answer for the questioner. So, and I was thinking, if we look at this Six of Cups, what's going on in it? You've got a gift maybe, or you've got exchange, or you've got isolation. The two people are here, but the guard, who can represent stability or older wise wisdom or older experience in that particular area, but he's walking away. So they're left on their own, maybe handling something on their own for the first time or without too much experience, that kind of thing. And then we've got a roof that is in need of repair in the background, which may or may not be important in this particular question. Because I think the thing is, go back to Angel, right? So she wanted to know about the teaching the class, and it was a one-word answer, yes, because the angel was in the card. Here we've got all sorts of different things going on. We've got the roof, we've got the children, the people, the exchange, the cups, the guard, and all the rest of it. So sometimes there's a big picture, and we zero in on different parts of the big picture because we can't see everything about any particular card for every question. And that's, I don't want to talk about intuition again, but that's maybe where our intuition comes in, because we look at the card and we notice the guard walking away. So we talk to the questioner about the fact that you're on your own, or you're having to deal with it without the benefit of somebody else being there who can guide you or who can protect you, because that's what guards do, they protect. So I was thinking, with this kind of approach in mind, what you might want to do is you write down, okay, a word I like for this particular card is exchange. And you get a piece of paper and you write exchange in the middle of the piece of paper. And that's the focus. So you think about the word exchange. And you take 5 minutes with this one word and write down random ideas that come to mind to do with the idea of exchange. And so maybe we've got, if you've ever traveled in Europe or elsewhere, you get bureau de change, where you've got exchange, or airports, right? You can exchange your currency for any other currency. So maybe exchange involves money. And let me make a dollar bill there, a dollar sign, or money. And money may or may not be important to do with this particular card, but exchange and exchange may relate to money. Also the fact that we've got change in the word, right? So maybe we write down change here. And that can make you wonder, what kind of change is going on with this particular card? Is it a change can be good or bad? It can be easy or difficult. So maybe you've got a separate piece of paper where you write change, and you've got plus and minus, positive and negative, easy or difficult. And so what you're doing is you're not coming up with meanings, but you're having more that you might say when it comes to a particular card. And you're not going to say everything, as I said, you're not going to say everything with every card, with every question. But just looking at it's the Six of Cups, instead of looking at it and thinking love is in the air, at this point now we're thinking there's a certain, so the card came up, Six of Cups reversed. So maybe with the Six of Cups reversed, we've got there's change, but it's not going to be easy. Or there's change, but it's going to take a while. Because sometimes you do something there's an immediate improvement. But if there's going to be improvement with this card, it's going to take a while because change is upside down. Or maybe money is going to be important as well, only because it's a room. The question was about a room. How much are you going to charge? And because the card is upside down, maybe what you do is don't charge a lot of money. Or maybe you're going to find that if you charge a lot of money, then nobody's going to show up, or only a few people are going to show up. So you need to be thinking about there's a break-even point. Let's say you pay, $50 for the room. You need $50 to make your money back. And then everything beyond that is profit. So maybe you need to think about money with exchange here. And the other card I've got here, in case you're wondering, is the Three of Swords, because I was kind of going to begin with this, with the Three of Swords, because if you look at it, what have we got here? We've got, okay, so I do the Three of Swords in the middle, right? That's my shortcut or shorthand for swords. I put a little sword, okay? And so what have we got in the card? There's not much, it seems, going on. We've got rain. Right, we've got raindrops coming down. We've got clouds, and that may rather than talk about clouds, we've also got a heart, and then we've got swords, and we've also got three swords, which can be important, and that's kind of what's going on. And it's grey. EY or AY, I can never remember. There's a difference in spelling from Britain to North America. So that's what we've got for the Three of Swords. And now we take each individual idea and we think thoughts connected with that particular word. And the reason I wanted to do the Three of Swords is because rain, okay? I try to meditate. I don't really get it, but I try periodically. And one thing I came across a while ago was what you do is you go to YouTube and you type in rainfall, and you put on headphones and you listen to rain falling for 15 minutes. And so the value of the exercise is that you can't think while you're listening to the rainfall. And then when you switch off and you come back into the world and you start thinking again, you're refreshed and relaxed because of listening to rainfall. So maybe the Three of Swords, because of the rain, I might find myself suggesting to somebody, try a bit of meditation and try a bit, listen to rainfall on YouTube, and you'll find that you're refreshed by it. So instead of looking at the Three of Swords and immediately thinking sorrow, which is a bit like taking your idea and that's what you begin with. Instead of beginning with the picture itself, rather than start with a meaning that the Three of Swords represents heartache and sorrow. Maybe it does, but maybe it doesn't. But maybe what's important is to tell the person, do some meditation because there's rainfall. The other thing is, I've got the heart written down here, and heart comes from a Latin word cor, right? That gives us the English word courage. So maybe what we've got here is, so we think about what does the heart represent in the body. When the heart stops beating, that's it, you're dead. So the heart in the picture with swords through it is probably going to be difficult to function if you get swords through your heart. So maybe the Three of Swords represents something that has ended. And so it's time for a new beginning. Rather than sorrow or heartache, maybe there's something about you can't keep going on the way you've been going on, and it's time for a change. It's time for I don't know about improvement, but it's time to do things differently. So maybe what you suggest with the Three of Swords is look at your situation and how you've been handling it, and instead of handling it the way you've always done it, do something different and try it and see how if that gives you a better result. Okay, clouds. What do we do with clouds? I don't know at this point, but I know people study clouds. You can get a deck of cards that shows different cloud formations, and clouds are actually quite interesting to do with different shapes of clouds and different weather patterns, because the different clouds will tell you about different weather. And so it's great. Talking about weather reminds me of rain, and so we can think rain's a bad thing, and here it's meant to represent sorrow, for instance. But if you've had a drought, you want rain. So we can't look at rain and think automatically this is a bad thing. We have to or if we take some time to do this kind of exercise with each card, and it takes a while to do all 78 cards, then we're not going to look at this Three of Swords and the rainfall and jump to the conclusion that it's a bad thing, or that this card represents sorrow. It might, but there's an awful lot more going on. Even though there isn't much in the picture, there's an awful lot more going on than just sorrow. And maybe through clouds and rain and greyness, we get the beginnings of a solution. So maybe because it's grey, which is halfway between black and white, so maybe what the person's supposed to do is find a balance. So instead of thinking everything's black or everything's white and being an extremist in that way, what the solution for this particular card is, go to the middle and see both sides of the situation and find some kind of balance between the one extreme of white and one extreme of black. Because it's not all good and it's not all bad. So maybe what you do with the Three of Swords is find what is half good or half bad and work with that and see if you can make progress using it. Okay, I seem to have been talking for a while, and I don't want to go on too long. So that, I think, was tarot lesson number 27. So today is Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday. Oh, is today Wednesday? Okay, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'll be back on Saturday. So thank you for watching, and have a good day. Okay, bye-bye.